Hello there folks, TaterCat here, and today I will be talking about the first volume of Trigun Maximum by Yasuhiro Nightow. Trigun Maximum is obviously the direct sequel, to the first two volumes of Trigun, and starts 2 years after the whole Fifth Moon incident. It starts off with Wolfwood arriving into a town that is just under siege basically by someone who is claiming to be Vash the Stampede, and he encounters a pair named Erix and Lena. Lena is like this 12-year-old girl, and Erix is this goofy-looking guy, long blonde hair, but I know Wolfwood never saw this, but his body is absolutely covered and gouged in scars from head to toe. So we know who that is, just on that. Wolfwood's been looking for Vash anyway. Lena gets abducted by the dude pretending to be Vash, so they have to go save her. And obviously it's pretty obvious after that yep, that's Vash. And unfortunately, because Wolfwood is here, means that there's some serious shit going on regarding knives. He never explains to Vash how he knows knives, but the reason why he was looking for Vash was he tells him about this town where it's like the residents suddenly just evaporated, where there was like food half eaten and chores half done. But the monument in the central plaza, this is what it says, scrawled across the monument in the central plaza was a man's name. The letters were written in crimson red. Knives. So obviously that means Vash knows he can't stay in this happy little life that he's kept himself in for the last 2 years with Lena and the grandma. He has to go because Knives is on the move again. And Knives is a very dangerous individual. We haven't encountered much of him yet besides the end of Volume 2 of Trigun, and that's barely showing any of the shit that he pulls. We do get to see what Meryl's been doing, which is basically just working at the office in the insurance company. She goes on a vacation, which happens to the place that Vash is in happens to be like an in-between of where she's going for her vacation. And the Bernardelli Insurance Company basically sends off an assassin to try to finish Vash off, and she's just like, yeah, we ain't having that. She knows what kind of person Vash is, and she's like, yeah, you don't need to kill him, that's kind of some bullshit. The last story has some people that Vash knows. It doesn't explain yet where he knows them from, I know because I've read this before. Come down because, obviously, in the last 2 years, he lost his coat, his boots are fucking wrecked, all of his equipment except for his gun that Wolfwood dug out of the rubble of, what was it, Genora Rock or something? The only reason he has his gun now is Wolfwood found it and patched it up. But this is another town. It's not really under siege, but more of there's this very ugly feud between these two families. And Vash puts himself into it because he doesn't like seeing people die. We all know this. We know what kind of person he is. He won't even kill people who shoot him. And basically, it becomes a story of kind of the hollowness of revenge. This old guy is going after one of the bigger people of the family he's feuding with. He's a distant relative, but he got dragged into it too, and he wants to avenge his daughter. Vash kind of obviously tries to stop that because he doesn't want to see people dying, and you kind of think of like the hollowness of revenge. This man is trying to avenge his daughter. He has the guy who killed her right in front of him. Wolfwood is nowhere near as optimistic as Vash is. Here's what he said: "It's a story told too many times. Even those who normally don't fight pick up a gun if their loved one's killed." And it's very clear this old guy whose daughter was killed is not a guy who's used to violence. I guess minor spoiler, he winds up not being able to pull the trigger, even though the man that's right in front of him killed his daughter in a very ugly and violent way and is screaming and begging for his life, but he can't pull the trigger because it's one of those, killing a man changes you, and that's part of the reason why Vash doesn't want to ever put blood on his own hands. It's not like he's gonna have somebody else kill somebody for him, but you know what I mean. Yeah, killing the guy might make him feel better temporarily, but it's not gonna bring his daughter back. And if he does kill him, he's just gonna get arrested and put in jail because the feds are outside the sand steamer that he's holding this guy hostage in. He'll go to prison, and he has a wife at home who's also mourning their daughter, and then she'll just be left alone. So what would it do? It would just cause more harm than good, not to mention that it would drag him even further into the feud, because now he's killed one of the big members of one of the families that's fighting in it. It just doesn't do any good. The people that give Vash the equipment, one of them is named Brad. You see Brad in the anime too, and he doesn't really know how to feel about Vash, mostly because he calls him ones who live outside of time, huh? In 13 years, even though my hands have grown this big, you really haven't changed at all. And Vash kind of understands that, where it's been 13 years from this guy's memory. The last time he saw him, Brad was 4. And you'd think in 13 years Vash would look even a little different, but he doesn't, so it kind of freaks people out. Brad even says, everyone in the older generation may trust you, but you're not convincing me. But Vash is understanding about it, because, yeah, it is. That's just normal human nature of, like, what the fuck are you then? You don't age. I'm going to put a picture up of something I hopefully want y'all to keep in the back of your mind if you have never read the Trigun manga. And it's the picture of his hair. If you don't notice how it's different, it is a little different, but I just want you to keep note of that. Keep it in the back of your mind while we go through all this. I'm not gonna say why. I'm not gonna explain it, because that's spoilers. Why would I give you spoilers? You know I do my best to keep my reviews spoiler-free. I think now it's because I'm an adult. I never realized how heavily of a theme family is in Trigun, because the last chapter regarding the feuding family, Brad asks the old guy that he accompanied why Vash bothered to get involved, and the old guy says, "What if I had gotten caught up in there, would you save me?" And Brad says, "Of course I would, we're kin." The old guy responds with, "Well, it's exactly the same." But Vash the Stampede's idea of kin stretches way beyond the norm, basically saying all people to him are kin, so that's why he got involved. He doesn't want to see anybody get killed. I guess that comes just with maturity, where you see themes, like, have more mature themes, like, not mature as in, like, sexual or whatever, but just, like, seeing series through a more adult lens kind of makes you realize that sometimes things are deeper than you actually realize. Because genuinely, I never saw this heavy of a theme of family. I can definitely say I liked the first volume of Trigun Maximum a lot better than volume 2 of Trigun, so I am going to give the first volume of Trigun Maximum I think a 9 out of 10, honestly. It's really good. I like this one a lot. The pacing's a lot better than volume 2. I feel like it was a bit rushed, and Nightow might have been trying to just cram in a lot of stuff before the end of it, because it was basically just leading into a lot of stuff that happens in Trigun Maximum. Honestly, if it had a third volume, it probably would have... It feels like another one of those things that if it had a second, like a volume 3, to slow the pacing down a bit, it probably would have made a little more sense. Like, I could understand what was going on, but, like, a little too much was happening too fast. So yeah, that's all of my rambling. Moving on to volume 2. I forgot to mention that there are titles to each of the Trigun Maximum volumes. Trigun 1 is called Hero Returns, which obviously just makes sense because Vash is basically coming out of hiding. I will, of course, put up the spoof covers because they are funny and deserve to be seen. That'll be about it. Like, subscribe, and all that noise. I'll see you in the next one, folks. Later.